Mary, hi, I enjoy the podcast very much. I was wondering why some wrestlers are never mentioned. Tim Woods, that we talked about last week, in fact. Blackjack Mulligan, Rufus R. Jones, Paul Jones, Ronnie Garvin, etc. I know we talked about Ronnie Garvin once because the Invisible Man was brought in that story that you said. But Mary's mentioned a few here that I don't think we've talked about. Blackjack, Rufus, and Paul Jones. And do you know what? Do you have any stories on number one Paul Jones? Because I don't think we've ever spoke about him before.
I only met him one time. I never really worked around him because he's mid-Atlantic. And Rufus R. Jones is mostly mid-Atlantic. And who was the other one?
Blackjack Mulligan. You must have some stories on Blackjack.
Blackjack. Well, Blackjack, he was an agent in WWE and WWF. And you'd see Blackjack and he'd be whatever, and he'd be smoking a cigarette.
Wasn't that Lanza?
That was Lanza. We're talking about the other Blackjack?
Yeah, Mulligan, yeah. The one who always seemed to beat up Ole Anderson.
Yeah. I think he did beat up Ole, I heard. Somebody told me that him and Ole got in a fight, and he punched him a couple of times and threw him out of the dressing room. I think it's when Ole had power. See, Ole, we keep coming back to Ole. Ole had the you want to kill him just by looking at him sometimes. And he could say something. He had a smart ass comeback, and he was kind of funny with it. But it's according to if he was saying it about you, then he wouldn't be quite so funny. But yeah, Blackjack Mulligan, big guy. Bray Wyatt's what is he to Bray Wyatt? His father, grandfather?
He was no, maybe
he's Barry's father, right?
No, he's Mike Rotunda's son. So Bray Wyatt is Mike Rotunda's son, IRS.
Okay, but I was saying Blackjack to Bray Wyatt.
Grandfather?
That's his. It got to be. His mother is his daughter. Is Blackjack's daughter. Yes, I don't know. Yes. Quit getting me on this damn. Oh, you confused me.
I've just checked. Blackjack Mulligan is his grandfather. Yeah.
Thank you. See, I had that about 2 minutes ago, and you got me confused.
Yeah, I know, but it's just family things. But yes, yeah. So why did Blackjack and Ole just hate each other all the time?
Because people hated Ole. It wasn't Blackjack. It was Ole. Ole, you wanted to strangle the son of a bitch sometimes. And the only reason probably that if Ole had been in charge, he would have fired Blackjack that night. But of course, the Crockett's may have talked him out of it. Oh man, we need him. He's over. He's this. He's that. And he was over in Mid-Atlantic. He was a big time name for him. But Ole, it was, if you heard of Ole getting into it with anybody, it was just Ole had to start it, and because he was just that way. Blackjack wasn't that way. He was. And I think I may have met him once. I didn't really, that wasn't my territory, so to speak. But I always heard he was a good guy, unless he was kicking your ass. Like, Ole didn't like him. Ole could write a book. I swear to God, he could write a book like I wrote and just name the people that he couldn't stand. Not didn't like, it was couldn't stand.
He did.
Ole could put a book.
It's called Inside Out, 2003. He published a book, and it's basically just everyone he hated.
Yeah. Well, you read it?
No. Read a review about it, though. He's rather bitter in it, I believe. I've read a lot of books, but I've not read that one.
Well, yeah, but just reading, say to me, if I picked the book up and I wanted to read who he didn't like, well, I'd probably agree with him. But Ole took it to another level, I think. I mean, he'd hit left I don't like to like almost pure hatred. He gave it a different meaning. But
hey, we've all got to have a hobby, haven't we?
But Ole, if I always got along with him, and he was always saying, "You piece of crap." That's the way he talked to people. But to Ole, it was terms of endearment. I call somebody a piece of shit, a piece of crap, you this, you SOB, you MF or this, that, and the other. He never thought about, well, they may take offense to this. It was just Ole, just the way he talked. So if you knew that about him, you could accept it. And you could tell if he meant it too. So most of the time, he was a big kidder till he wasn't kidding, and then you knew that too. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, but Blackjack Mulligan was not playing Ole's game at all in that sense.
No. Well, he didn't like him. Period. Because Ole was, I think Ole later on was the booker, and the booker does get a lot of heat. And you could tell if the booker don't like you by the finishes he gives you. And of course that could change, but in Ole's case, I think if he gave you a finish that kind of buried you, that's exactly what he thought about you.